Right here on Unmissable, I take you through news from India and across the globe this hour. We will delve into gig workers, the economy that's currently booming. The government of India finally has acknowledged it and also have brought them under the labour code. Big win in a way, part win I could say, for gig workers as part of the labour code now. They've got to be strictly given basic pay. So we will take you through details of that on gig workers and how far have they been integrated given their contribution. Now, also on our top story tonight is TVK Vijay and his father basically has said that Congress can come to its old glory if it allies with the TVK. A big statement coming out there ahead of Tamil Nadu elections. We'll talk about that and also Ajit Pawar, his cremation that was carried out today with full state honours. We'll take you through that news. As always, the headlines first. Union Minister, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman tabling Economic Survey 2025-26. Survey sees GDP at 6.8 to 7.2% for financial year 2027. Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau initiates investigation into the crash that killed Ajit Pawar. The final investigation report to be forwarded to the state government after Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis's request. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor has met with Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge amid all that internal rift and buzz. After a 90-minute meeting, the MP dismisses exit rumours, says all is good. We're all on the same page. Delhi High Court issues summons in Rani Kapoor's suit against Priya Kapoor and Karishma Kapoor's children over fraudulent family trust. Big setback for O. Pannirselvam as AIDMK chief Edappadi Palaniswamy says that OPS has been removed from being a core member of the AIDMK. There is no chance of including OPS in the party now. In a boost there to the police force, the Karnataka police, the DGP has sent out a circular saying all police officers are entitled to leaves on their birthday or their anniversaries. A circular there directing all units to approve casual leave requests for such special personal occasions mandatorily. And DK Shivkumar, Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, responds cautiously to Chief Minister's speculations, says time will answer everything and pledges to follow party's decision. Kerala Congress MLA Rahul Mamputtatil faces possible disqualification over ethics complaint. CPIM MLA DK Murali's complaint to be examined by Assembly Ethics and Privilege Committee. Remember, he's already been ousted by the Congress party, but he still remains an MLA. It appears that they are pushing for that disqualification. All right, let's take you through our top story tonight. Gig workers who've now been formally inducted under the labour code. When I say inducted, I mean all labour codes that applies for employees across India, across verticals. Gig workers who were exempt or rather left out of it now come into that fold. So we put the spotlight on India's gig economy here, the invisible engine of urban India and the uncomfortable truths flagged by the economic survey tabled in the parliament today. The economic survey that was presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman reveals that nearly 40% of India's gig and platform workers earn less than 15,000 a month. Truth, painful. These are the riders who deliver our food, our groceries, our medicines. They're literally the backbone of India's app-driven convenience economy that we are so dependent on. At the same time, the survey does acknowledge that the gig sector is now booming. The number of gig workers has grown by 55% from 7.7 million in 2020-21 to 12 million in 24-25. Well, today gig workers form over 2% of India's total workforce. a figure that's projected to rise to 6.7% by 29 to 2030. In fact, potentially contributing to 2.35 lakh crore to India's GDP. The survey calls for urgent policy intervention, suggesting the setting of minimum per hour or per task earnings, which includes compensation for waiting time to ensure fair wages and reduce the cost disparity between regular and gig employment. Now, tabled in the Parliament, the survey says the aim of the gig economy here, the gig economy policy, should be to reshape terms, allowing workers to exercise genuine choice instead of being forced into gigs by weak demand, skill mismatches, or lack of safety net. But the contradiction here is that while platforms talk of flexibility and opportunity, gig workers have been protesting across cities demanding better pay, humane work conditions, and an end to unrealistic delivery timelines, including the controversial 10-minute delivery promise, which the government has now asked platforms to remove. Well, as we see here, what's satisfying is that the gig workers now come into the new labor code. So this is the first step towards acknowledging their hard work, which means now social security will be extended to gig workers. The labor codes have formally recognized gig and platform workers. That now would mean all social security policies, welfare funds, benefit probability will all be extended to the gig workers. So this, the government has realized that these platforms have become essential in our economy's growth. So therefore, they've given them a level of protection. But the next step should come from these companies who hire gig workers as their workforce. So is India's gig economy delivering growth by underpaying labor? Let me quickly bring in KV Dhananjay, who's a senior advocate, Karnataka High Court and Supreme Court. We also have Mohammad Inayat Ali, National Vice President of Indian Federation of App-Based Transport Workers. Thanks very much, both of you, for joining us. I'll start with you, Mohammad Inayat Ali. Do you feel this is a small win? Gig workers being clarified, the government clarifies that you come under the labor code, social security is extended to you, and that you should be paid minimum wages.
Yes, ma'am. थैंक यू नबीला जी। मैं अपनी बात को हिंदी में रखना चाहता हूं ताकि हमारे वर्कर्स भी चीज को समझे जी। जैसे सोशल सिक्योरिटी पे मैं आता हूं तो 2020 पे हम ऐसे ही खुशी मनाए थे कि चलो भाई सोशल सिक्योरिटी 2020 में सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने हमारे लिए कुछ करने के लिए सोचे। अब आज भी आपसे और आपकी मीडिया के माध्यम से हमें खुशखबरी मिल रही है कि आज सरकार के कान पे जूं आई है कि कैसे भी करके इन गिग वर्कर्स का कुछ करना है, इनके लिए कुछ हेल्प करना है। मैं वेलकम करता हूं सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट का कि इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा कदम उठाया हमारे गिग वर्कर्स के बारे में। मगर जैसे कि अभी आप पीटीआई आपको स्टेटिंग किया है कि 40% गिग वर्कर्स मोर देन 15,000 के बिलो 15,000 कम पैसा कमा रहे हैं। तो इन सब चीजों को मद्दे रखते हुए सरकार सोच के कि इनको क्या मिनिमम वेजेस मिलना चाहिए और लेबर कोड के तहत, तो इसके बारे में भी सरकार को सोच के एक कदम उठाना पड़ेगा। और मैं सरकार का तहे दिल से वेलकम करता हूं कि सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने भी अभी गिग वर्कर्स के बारे में सोचना शुरू कर दिया है।
तो आप बोल रहे हो कि सोचना शुरू कर दिया है, ये एक स्मॉल स्टेप है, स्मॉल विन है आपके लिए। मगर ये तो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से हुआ, ये आपकी कंपनीज ने कुछ बोला है? आपने इतना आंदोलन किया, प्रोटेस्ट किया, उसके बाद कुछ हुआ भी?
नहीं, कंपनियों के तरफ से तो कुछ नहीं आया। जैसे कि आप लोगों ने देखा था कि हमारे मनसुख मांडवा जी लेबर मिनिस्टर जो हैं, इन्होंने एक स्टेटमेंट दिया था, आपको स्टेटमेंट कोट किया था। इसकी वजह से इन्होंने 10 मिनट्स डिलीवरी का बस ब्रांडिंग हटाया है। अभी भी इनके एप्स में अलग अलग एल्गोरिथम वाला गेम कर रहे हैं। फ्यू मिनट्स, अभी 10 मिनट्स को हटा के चंद फ्यू मिनट्स वाला ये रोल प्ले कर रहे हैं, जिससे अभी भी वर्कर को प्रॉब्लम ही है। कंपनीज को चाहिए कि 10 मिनट्स डिलीवरी वाला जो इन्होंने कहा पॉलिसी है, इसको हटा देना चाहिए। इनके ब्रांडिंग ही नहीं बल्कि इनके ऐप से भी हटाना चाहिए।
अच्छा, KV Dhananjay, today with the government acknowledging how important gig workers are, how much we have riding on them, the growth of the economy, and they've projected GDP and its growth and all thanks to gig economy that seems to be driving this, a driving factor certainly. Now, they've also very clearly stated that they come under the labour code, their basic pay needs to be met. So, as if social security also will be extended to them. What, in your view, does this do to gig workers by and large? According to Inayat, he says this could be just lip service. Not much would probably change on the ground, but still, as a Supreme Court lawyer, would you say that this is really paving the way for them?
Well, this could be a good development, and also this is again a small step. Now, this is only at the stage of a bill. We are yet to see what would become, because not every bill passes, becomes an act in the form. Sometimes amendments happen, sometimes bills are not even considered. So it remains to be seen how the parliament will view this. But we must also note that this ought to have been consultative. When I say consultative, it's important to note that there are just a handful of companies here. And it's important for those companies to feel like they were consulted. Now, that certainly can't happen at the stage of a bill. So much prior to the stage of a bill, if only the government could have employed soft skills and then spoken to these platform owners. I'm saying this because we live in times where, Nabila, you are seeing there is record sellout in the equities market and foreign funds are withdrawing from different countries, and India too is amongst the top withdrawal for the foreign funds. And we have these unknown and then Mauritius routing foreign funds that are investing in these platform companies. So their investment is not very assured. And it's not as if, I don't think even the government of India would say that investors are lining up to invest in these platform companies, because most of these platform companies don't turn in a profit for 7 or 8 years. And when investment cannot lead to a profit over 7 or 8 years, I can tell you most companies are never going to invest at all. So as we were in fact discussing the same issue last time, the greater nuances this time are that the government certainly can be congratulated for having thought about these issues seriously enough to come out with a bill. But if it's not just enough that we feel placated, gig workers feel placated that the government has now a bill and then it will probably pass a bill and make it into a law. It's important for these investors to feel consulted. I doubt if that has happened.
No, but sir, what I'm saying is, if they've been protesting and they've been, voicing the kind of abuse, subtle abuse that gig workers, according to them, are facing. The unions are claiming they're not a union, they're not allowed to be a union because companies don't allow it. But the groups, the associations who have protested are saying that they're being harassed, in such a way where basic pay is not given. And today the government has acknowledged it, right? So when a government has tabled something like this in the parliament, does it mean now that the owners are liable if they are violating these guidelines?
Very true. But the way it works out is the owners might not even realize the kind of liability that they will have to, because if minimum wages are not, part of this bill, but should minimum wages become part of the package, then we do not know if these investors are going to feel like, oh my God, we've come into this evolving market, we are yet to turn in a, I don't believe any of these platform companies are turning in a profit at this point of time. The problem is that if these funds, most of which are rooted from Mauritius, which already are complaining about a recent judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court in Tiger Global, which went on to say that if you route your funds from Mauritius, you possibly could be violating some of the Indian tax laws and become liable for prosecution and, penalties and all of that. Now, if these investment companies, now, by the way, I'm not representing any investment company for your information. I have no connection whatsoever. I was only thinking about the larger good, public good here. We want our gig workers to prosper, but we must also recognize that gig workers have employment solely because you have a few companies that are making extremely economically irrational decisions of creating platforms in the first place. Creating a platform is an extremely irrational economic policy. You're not going to turn in a profit for several years, and most of the time you're going to get burnt out. So if these companies are going to get scared about the evolving regulatory landscape in India, everybody loses. When I say everybody loses, look, if some companies want to say that, look, we are not going to commit to invest more money, we want to wait and see what happens. scale down. Now, if you are in tier 3 cities, let's take a situation, let's say Zomato. If they are in tier 3 cities, it's entirely possible for some of their investors to say, look, this regulatory landscape is creating uncertainty for us. India is becoming a difficult place to do business in. So let's not invest, let's not expand in those tier 3 cities. Now, who would be the losers? We all will. So it was important in a matter like this that everybody feels consulted. Now, I am all for a bill that will create social security benefits, because none of these companies can reasonably argue and say that there should not be social security benefits. But we are dealing with an extremely sensitive economic sector, and an economic sector that the government too might not be appreciating it for what it is. And that is where we have a problem. And there are some countries of the world that have done this, that sought to regulate and found that these sectors simply vanish. We don't want to be that. And there are so many other countries of the world where regulation is not this fast, and where governments say that, look, let's talk to the platform workers, let's get to know what is happening. And I would have preferred that the bill come a bit later, and what instead would have happened is for our parliamentary committees. Now, does the government of India know what is the extent of workforce in Zomato? I doubt it. But if a parliamentary committee had set out to find out, it could have summoned the owners of Zomato, the owners of Zepto, and then said, look, give us information about how many workers you have. Like, in India, there are so many people watching these US Congress deliberations. US Congress is our parliament equivalent.
Yeah.
So their Congress committees are calling up different companies, different heads of the companies, and then asking them questions, embarrassing them very often. We ought to have done that. We ought to have at least created a public pressure where these companies could have said, if Zomato could say that I am actually making this much of money, and if Zomato had been confronted with, don't you think it's morally imperative for you to also give better wages? Perhaps Zomato then would have applied pressure on their investors and said that, look, we had better do something about it. The problem with laws are they are the easiest to make. I can tell you this. Laws are the easiest human activity in this day and age. So making a law is congratulatory here because it gives us a sense of security. But I'm afraid if this law is not going to be what the government wants it to be, but it ends up hurting the sector that it wants to regulate. I think this is something that we have to pay serious attention towards. I'm all for gig workers, and if I have a choice to represent a gig worker group or a platform, I would readily and 100% take the side of a gig worker. As a lawyer, I mean to say, if I were to be professionally engaged, I would want to represent a gig worker. But, in that context, I'm telling you that these are areas of concern.
Right. From what we see here, gig unions there are arguing that incentives offer only short-term relief. So what do you mean by that? Inayat, would you want to tell us what is this, in your view, just a short-term relief?
देखिए, पे आउट को और मिनिमम वेजेस को एक शॉर्ट टाइम रिलीफ भी है, और भी बहुत सारे चीजें हैं जिसपे सरकार को सोचना चाहिए, जैसे कि एल्गोरिथम है.
उन्होंने बोला है how gig workers are falling prey to these algorithms is what is highlighted today as part of that
Nabila,
survey that was presented.
Algorithm. Perhaps he can explain why he has a problem with algorithm.
बोलिए इनायत जी.
एल्गोरिथम, ये देखिए, एल्गोरिथम डिसाइड करता है कि कौन कितना कमाएगा आज. ये प्रॉब्लम है कि तभी तो आज आपको सर्वे में ये मिल रहा है कि 40% से ज्यादा गिग वर्कर्स 15,000 एक महीना काम करके, जो 12 से 14 घंटे, आपको सर्वे भी है आपके पास, उसमें मैं सर्वे रिपोर्ट भी आपको शेयर कर दूंगा. 12 से 14 घंटे काम करने के बावजूद भी जो है 500 या 500 से कम पैसा कमा रहा है. ये पीटीआई स्टेटिंग कर रही है. तो आप ये एल्गोरिथम से क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है बोलो तो, एल्गोरिथम से बहुत ज्यादा चीट करते हैं ये कंपनीज. उनके पेमेंट, उनके किलोमीटर्स में कुछ आगे पीछे कर देना. जब वो अपने टारगेट पे पहुंचना चाहते हैं, कोई भी वर्कर अपने टारगेट को अचीव करने के लिए, मान के चलिए अगर 12 बुकिंग करने का उनका टारगेट है, अगर वो 10 पे जाता है तो उसको बुकिंग नहीं मिलती. अगर वो लोग उबर का कोई ड्राइवर उसके इंसेंटिव को टारगेट करने के लिए अगर वो एक बुकिंग भी चाहता है, चाहे वो एक साथ 10 गाड़ियां खड़े हो, मगर उसको बुकिंग नहीं मिलेगी, दूसरों को मिलेगी. और भी बहुत सारे चीजें आते हैं कि इसमें एल्गोरिथम है और आईडी अनफेयर आईडी ब्लॉकिंग, जिससे कोई कस्टमर कुछ भी उनको रेटिंग दे दे तो फौरन इनका
Let's
आईडी ब्लॉक कर दिया जाता है।
so
मैं
Nabila, now
मैं
dealing with
गवर्नमेंट को
algorithm.
ये चीज पे भी जी
Now, Nabila, now,
Yeah.
like while dealing with the algorithm, kindly see, uh, certainly these are private employers. They don't believe that all employees are equal, and they will always have an algorithm. And if the government of India were to say that, look, we will make a law to disable all of these algorithms, I'm going to tell you what will happen. They will shut shop, they will just go away, and it's not as if anyone else is going to is available to come and take their place.
Yeah.
Most of these platform companies don't have I mean, like a majority are not Indian investors at all. Algorithms are there because they want to somehow believe that they are identifying efficiency and rewarding efficiency and then
And they can
disincentivizing
tweak the
inefficiencies.
algorithm as per their whims.
Well, Wim, so now please note, can you make a law to disable algorithms? And kindly imagine what form of law that it
Yeah.
must be. It's nearly impossible.
So when you say, sir, when you say that these companies are not profitable, like Zomato, you're saying that Zepto is not profitable, Blinkit is not profitable.
I don't believe they're profitable at this
So
point of time.
then
Would you believe
इसके लिए मैं बोलता हूँ,
they're expecting to become profitable, in the
मैं क्या
future,
बोलता
but
हूँ,
they're not. But they're
एल्गोरिथम के
not
लिए
profitable at
कानून
all.
बनाना
Nabila, take Amazon. It's unbelievable. Look, if you go back in time for 50 years ago and then ask economists that, do you think there will come a point of time when companies, that too public corporations which are publicly traded, where shareholder pressure is always there to turn in a profit, would be able to invest in companies and then hold and sit tight for 10 or 12 years before they see a profit? I would tell you 50 years ago, economics would have laughed and said that that's simply impossible because it's only the government sector that can afford to spend money, invest money, and then not want to see a profit, like our Bescoms and then our bus sectors and companies. So private companies, private sectors doing it is so rare, and it continues to be rare. I don't believe these companies are profitable at this
So
point
do you
of time.
believe that with the government now agreeing that the gig workers are a backbone to our growing economy, some allotment might come this budget, the upcoming budget session, there could be something that could be allotted to these companies so that they could pass on the benefits to these gig workers? It doesn't happen like that?
There is no such money to spare. We are
Okay.
spending more than 30% of our money towards payment of interest. I mean, the
So
central
then
government.
the companies are going to bleed. If they are bleeding, they will not. They wouldn't care less. Couldn't care less of what the gig workers are going through.
Yeah. Yes, but again, unlike other sectors, the reason why we want to worry here is because these investors are finicky, and it's important to recognize that. I don't believe the central government can come out and assure and say that we are confident of these laws and we believe no one is going to go away. I can assure you, nobody in the central government is going to publicly make a statement to that effect, that despite these bills becoming acts in place, none of the current platforms are going to, investors are going to withdraw. That's just not going to be the statement of the government at all.
Okay.
And that is why we've got to be very sensitive. We've got to walk a nice balancing stick. And our gig workers also should be slightly reasonable in terms of, look, is it possible that there are also problems with our gig workers? Now, are we doing enough to address it? Now, if we say we have a problem with algorithms are how big businesses are run these days.
Yeah.
In fact, our airline tickets, by the way, if I want to travel between Bangalore and Delhi and I want to book now, and I don't book now, but then I want to book 3 hours later, you know what happens? Fares will change. Now, what's making those fares change? It's an algorithm. That's a part and parcel of how big businesses work now. Now, if the government wants to attack that because gig workers have a problem.
So that's where basic pay, social security, all of those aspects come into play.
Basic pay is great. Basic pay is great. Social security is great. But the bill, at the end of the day, ought not to attack algorithms or say that they want to know how these algorithms are created or how they are administered. Because if you want to be that intrusive, I can assure you that a lot of these companies might want to simply shut shop because it's so much safer, isn't it? The world is not so very, very stable these days.
So,
you're seeing what's happening.
Last question, sir, to इनायत. इनायत, तो फिर ऐसा अगर है तो वो प्रॉफिटेबल नहीं है और अब गवर्नमेंट ने बोल दिया है कि सेफगार्ड्स रहना चाहिए. अब आप कैसे मैनेज करोगे? आपका क्या अगला कदम है?
नबीला जी, मैं वकील साहब की बात पे एक बात कहना चाहता हूँ. एल्गोरिथम के वकील साहब ने कहा कि इसको तो हम कानून नहीं बना सकते. दैट इज बी इम्पॉसिबल. मैं इस बात को मानता हूँ, मगर आप लोगों को समझना चाहिए कि एल्गोरिथम से वर्कर्स पे कितना मेंटली प्रेशर हो रहा है. वो हर घंटे एक उम्मीद में रहता है कि मैं आज कुछ कमाऊंगा, मैं अपने टारगेट को रीच करके कुछ इंसेंटिव्स में घर पे लेके जाऊंगा.
वो जैसे बोल रहे हैं एल्गोरिथम्स ऐसी चीज है कि हम कोई कुछ भी नहीं कर पा रहा है ना. ऐसा चीज है कि वो गवर्नमेंट कैसे
सरकार पे मैं एक मिनट मैम मैं इसीलिए बोल रहा हूँ कि सरकार को सोचना चाहिए कि मिनिमम वेजेस, अगर वर्कर आपके लिए, आपके कंपनी के लिए 10 घंटे या 12 घंटा काम करता है तो उसके लिए एक मिनिमम वेजेस तय किया जाए. जैसे कि स्विगी, जोमेटो, अमेजन, ओला, उबर के सारे वर्कर्स जो है उनका एक डिवाइस होता है जिसमें लॉग इन आवर्स होता है. जब वो कमिट होके आपके लिए लॉग इन करके 10-10, 12-12 घंटे काम करता है तो उसके हर एक घंटे की कोई कीमत लगाई जाए ताकि वो satisfied बैठे रहेगा. उसके लिए मेंटली प्रेशर नहीं होगा.
Basically, that's where the basic pay and a right amount, suitable amount to honor the hard work of these gig workers should be implemented by these companies itself. So we'll see where this takes us. The government has tabled this today as part of the survey, acknowledged that there's a problem, has said gig workers are important. So how do they wade through this? Moving forward, what kind of a law or a bill that they would announce or implement is something we've got to wait and watch. But the discussion has happened. And people like Inayat Ali are to be thanked.
The Association should set up a website and then should communicate with people and then should also receive complaints about what might be happening.
Make it more, formalize it, yes.
Yes, and it's important.
Yes. Inayat ji, thank you very much, and KV Dhananjay for joining us. We'll continue tracking your story.
Thank you.
Thank you. A quick break. We'll be right back on the other side. The Tamil Nadu TVK asking Congress to ally with them. Stay with us.
With Skoda Supercare and growing network across 180 plus cities, you never drive alone.
Skoda. पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता, उछलता है, दौड़ता, कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया. घर है वही जहाँ सब संग हो, रिश्तों को रंग दो, दुनिया को रंग दो. Birla Opus Paints.
फाइनली हमारा घर.
तुम्हारी जिद का नतीजा.
मैं नहीं होती तो तुम्हारा क्या होता?
इनकी जिद ने आज इन्हें दिया एक परमानेंट एड्रेस टाटा कैपिटल होम लोन्स के साथ.
Welcome back. Well, Tamil Nadu elections just around the corner, and right ahead of that, we're looking at Vijay's party, the TVK, asking Congress to ally with them if they really want power in Tamil Nadu. This is huge, coming at a time when elections are so close. DMK is the current ruling government. They could be facing anti-incumbency. TVK is looking seemingly very popular there on the ground, at least. We don't know if that will translate into votes, but at least Vijay's party and Vijay himself, the personality that he is, he's managed to pull crowds at possibly every rally that he's launched. So clearly looking like a popular front there, Vijay's TVK as a party, and they are inviting Congress to ally with them. So far, Congress has been an ally of the DMK for much over a decade or so. After fighting together and winning the 2019 and 2024 Lok Sabha elections and the 2021 Assembly polls, the Congress and the DMK as an alliance is not looking as strong as it was. We're looking at some kind of cracks that are developing beneath the surface between the DMK and the Congress party, which is upbeat by its strong strike that they had in Tamil Nadu this time, winning all 9 Lok Sabha seats that it contested in 2024 and 18 of the 25 assembly seats that it contested in 21, is now trying to push harder than ever for power sharing in Tamil Nadu. Remember, as much as they've been allies for such a long time, the DMK has never given any ministerial berths to the Congress leaders in Tamil Nadu. So this is something that the TMK seems to be, the TVK seems to be tapping on just that if you join us, we'll give you power. The DMK has drawn a clear red line here. Sources tell us that during high-level talks ahead of the assembly elections, the Congress demanded power sharing and cabinet berths in the event of the 4th DMK victory. The answer from DMK we hear was a no. DMK MP Kanimoi is said to have made it unequivocally clear that DMK will not share power with its allies. The party remains committed to single-party rule at the state level, is what was anyway conveyed to them. Something that the Congress has known for a while, but of course Congress continues to push for some kind of power sharing, but has failed so far. Despite this, Rahul Gandhi has signaled that they will still continue with the alliance with the DMK though. While discussions between Rahul Gandhi and Kanimoi have clarified their positions, the final call on seat sharing will rest eventually with Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and Rahul Gandhi directly, but doesn't seem like when it comes to ministry, the Congress will get any if at all the DMK comes back to power. But here you have it, TVK saying very clearly, you come on board with us, we will give you power. The lost glory that you have as Congress party, we will help you revive it. So this almost in a way settles all that debate whether TVK would be joining or wants to join the BJP, will they be joining the AIADMK and whatnot. There was so much chatter around that. But it seems like with TVK sending out a signal to the Congress, clearly shows the allegiance in a way. Actor Vijay's party, that seems to be only rising now, looking at the crowds there on the ground, surprisingly has given this invitation to the Congress. In fact, Vijay's father, S.A. Chandrasekhar, was the man who actually publicly pitched this idea after attending a wedding in Tiruvarur. So let's take you through what Vijay's father said, inviting Congress.
இந்த காங்கிரஸ்க்குன்னு ஒரு சரித்திரம் இருக்கு, பாரம்பரியம் இருக்கு, ஒரு வரலாறு இருக்கு. காங்கிரஸ் என்னன்னு உங்களுக்கு முதல்ல தெரியுமா? தெரியுமான்னு அதுக்கு கூட பதில் சொல்ல மாட்டேங்க. அந்த ஓரளவுக்கு என்ன தெரியும்? இல்லப்பா தம்பி கேக்குறேம்மா, தைரியமா சொல்லுங்கன்றேன். சொல்லுங்க. சுதந்திரத்துக்காக போராடினவங்களா? அப்படியாப்பட்ட ஒரு வரலாறு இருக்கிற கட்சி இன்னைக்கு தேஞ்சு போச்சு. பவர் இல்ல, ஏதோ ஒரு கட்சிக்கு ஆதரவு கொடுத்த ஆதரவு.
You have it. His father says we can help the Congress regain its old glory. He claims that Vijay is willing to back the Congress electorally and has urged the party to seize what he calls a historic opportunity. He says this is a historic opportunity for the Congress. Seize these opportunities that the TVK is giving. Now, will the Congress really find this offer tempting with over 60 seats and cabinet berths if the alliance does win? For now, the Congress leadership is playing cool. They've not responded to this. Tamil Nadu Congress chief K. Selvapurantagai has publicly rejected the proposal, saying that the party under Rahul Gandhi has enough strength to chart its own course. He's dismissed the offer while appreciating the sentiment behind it.
நாங்க ஏற்கனவே நல்ல பூஸ்ட்ல தான் இருக்கோம். சரி பாருங்க, எங்க கேடர்லாம் நல்ல பூஸ்ட்ல இருக்காங்கல்ல. ஏற்கனவே ராகுல் காந்தி எங்களுக்கு எல்லாருக்கும் பூஸ்ட் கொடுத்து வச்சிருக்காரு, ஹார்லிக்ஸ் கொடுத்து வச்சிருக்காரு. எங்களுக்கு யாரும் பூஸ்ட் கொடுக்க வேணாம், நாங்க போன்விட்டா ஹார்லிக்ஸ் எல்லாரையும் சாப்பிட்டுட்டு இருக்கோம். இருந்தாலும் அவர் பூஸ்ட் கொடுக்குறேன்னு சொன்னதுக்கு நன்றி.
Well, the fact's a fact at the end of it. The DMK will refuse to share power. They're not going to give any ministry cabinet berths to the Congress members. Seat sharing talks remain unresolved. Congress ambitions are of course rising. TVK's offer, however, unlikely, cannot be entirely ruled out. So we're going to wait and watch closer to the elections whether the Congress is going to really take this in and associate with TVK, who seems to be the rising star in the Tamil Nadu landscape. Kalyan Raman, senior leader, BJP Tamil Nadu, joining us. Hari Kiran, political analyst, and also Gokul Chandran, political analyst. Thanks very much, all of you. Kalyan Raman, I'll start with you as a BJP. Did you have even an iota of hope that TVK would probably ally with the BJP and AIDMK, the NDA alliance? Now,
see, to begin with, we have to see it with a lot of interest that two diminishing parties, namely DMK and Congress, are demanding, commanding, trying to dictate each other, saying that we will give you less, we will give you more.
Yeah, that's more, a pity. I agree.
We want power, and so on and so forth. This is one thing that is a very interesting thing happening from among the two diminishing parties. The second most interesting thing is that Congress wants to remain a slave forever by indirectly talking to TVK, or rather using the name of TVK to demand things with the DMK. This is another
But here is
thing.
Vijay's father spoken, not even any party leader. So it really looks genuine.
See, what happens behind the door is never known to the external world. So I was part of some of the negotiations in the past, in 2014. So I know how things happen, what is visible and what is done invisibly. It goes without saying that something is cooking up between TVK and Congress for sure, and the DMK is too worried about it.
Is the BJP feeling slighted, a little jealous that TVK did not make this offer to the BJP?
Not really for the simple reason that today we have the strongest alliance possible with so much of anti-incumbency and so many parties. We are still having another 3-4 parties to come on board. That is likely in the next 1 week time. Probably, I'm just speculating here. Another 10 days we will have everything clear, and the numbers, everything is finalized, finished, even to the extent, even the candidates for that matter. So we are not looking for any alliance beyond what we already know we have and what we think we should have. That is not TVK. No, this is the current reality. Of course, I have stated time and again before your channel also that at the current levels, the BJP is in a position to, when I say BJP, it is the NDA, is in a position to win about 150, 160 seats. If Congress and TVK go together, we are winning 200 seats. If TVK joins hands with NDA, we are winning 234 seats. These are the three possible scenarios I'm in a position to understand.
But
so in any case, the NDA is winning. So there is nothing for us to jealous.
The AIDMK today has thrown out OPS. EPS has thrown out OPS.
No, you have not understood the way it is said. Okay, OPS cannot join ADMK. This is what he had stated. Whether he cannot be part of alliance or not, it was never stated. It is ambiguous as on date. As I said, a lot of things happen in the back end. So back channel, let the back channels finalize everything, come out, and then we will know everything.
But since you're pointing out at instability within the DMK and the Congress alliance, look at your alliance. No, AIDMK, each passing day, one or the other member is getting kicked out.
See,
the party is finding it so hard to stabilize itself.
You see, you are talking about OPS. Let us stick to OPS. OPS is the probable number of seats out of 234 to be contested by himself or his team is going to be anything like 3-4 seats. What is the significance of it? There is no great significance attached to it. But in terms of perception management, yes, we will have a huge perception advantage if OPS also comes on board, which I am sure is going to happen. But he will not be part of the ADMK. He can be part of something else. He can be even BJP symbol. He may be getting 3-4 seats, which the symbol may be BJP symbol or the jackfruit symbol that he had already had. So let's not speculate at this point of time. It is for OPS to take a call on the finality of it. Along with the, he is talking to us.
Let me bring in our political analyst, Harikaran. What's your take on the DMK refusing to share power with any ally, and the Congress at this point has a real lucrative second option?
See, first I want to actually attack the question that you put out. Can this Congress and TVK alliance be ruled out? I think absolutely yes. The DMK and the Congress have been long partners in the state. There is always been a very high amount of camaraderie there. And I want to actually bring to your attention the C voter trend in election result that has come out recently, which clearly shows that there is going to be a very high... Hello? There's going to be... the high command of the Congress and the DMK will be deciding what is going to happen next. Right?
Yeah, but that's the part, right? That's exactly what TVK is tapped into, that there's power sharing is not happening between the two.
The fact that his father is coming and saying something does not mean that that is what is going to be the situation and scenario on the ground.
No, that at least means
where is he?
That at least means
since even he has come out and said anything, and even has
that
even
at least
been
means
public
Vijay is leaning towards that ideology. If his father is saying something like that, then he's obviously more leaning towards the Congress's ideology.
That's the point, that we have to completely rule out this baseless ideology that there's going to be anything but the DMK and the Congress alliance in this state. That is the first point. The fact that the DMK
wait.
gives the
You're
Congress
saying
more
that
than 30
DMK
MPs.
can have more allies.
No. I'm talking about the strength of the DMK and the Congress alliance in the state is very strong.
Yes, it's strong. No, you're not getting, but you're not
MPs
addressing the core point, right? The core point here is that the Congress is not getting any ministerial berths in Tamil Nadu. It's always the junior ally with zero power sharing. So how long can the Congress be that?
The Congress, that is for the party brass, the top brass to decide between them. The top brass here being our Chief Minister M.K. Stalin and Rahul Gandhi. They will decide as to how this is to go forward, and they are going to definitely make choices in that. But it's always been that the Congress and the DMK alliance is strong, and that's what we are talking about here today. Whether the TVK coming in is going to, and the statement by the father saying that for an alliance with the Congress is false. That's what I'm trying to make the point here, and that's the conversation we're having today. Whether the Vijay camp quotes Congress amid DMK talks, that's the topic of the discussion, and that's what I want to make sure that everybody understands, that there is no problem between the DMK and the Congress at this moment at all.
Now, is it true that the Congress wants 35 seats this time, but the DMK is willing to part with only 19 seats?
The seat sharing between them is going to be decided imminently. I mean, that's like I said, we will have to see what the party command is going to come out with soon.
No, of course the party will decide. You and I here can only speculate, but just give us some scoop, na?
There will be. I mean, we will, going by what has happened all this time, the last elections, 25 seats were given to the Congress by the DMK, of which, in which they had contested. So I think we will be expecting a pretty much the same, same vote share of, seat sharing.
So the last time, the Congress won all of the 18 seats.
18 seats out
that
of the
they had
25
contested.
were won.
All 18, no, 18 out of 25 they won, right? So that's a
Yes.
good strike rate, right? So
Yes.
based on that, they can definitely ask for a little more. Let's see what happens. Maybe, you know what, maybe unintentionally TVK has given an extra bargaining power, an extra card for the Congress to bargain with the DMK now. Maybe, right? Gokul Chandran, your take on that? Your take on that. Do you believe that the Congress has more currency now against or with the DMK to negotiate? See, I have another alternative. You better give me 25, 35 seats that they're asking. And forget 35 seats. They're not even, forget seats. They're not even getting a ministry. They never get any cabinet berth. That's just unfair to an ally. But BJP does not do that. BJP really honors its allies.
Yeah, good evening. See, the Congress DMK ally is not only a power arithmetic, it is for constitutional values, and they have been together for safeguarding the constitution. They were together, and they are ideological partnership for few decades. So it is a pure partnership, and unlike the BJP ADMK alliance, it is not a master-slave relationship where the BJP puts a gun on Edapadi's head and asks for seat sharing, how much seat they will give, how much you should take. No, it is a pure partnership. The DMK and Congress have been together fighting the fascist forces across the nation, and the Congress and DMK will continue to fight the fascist forces and the corrupt ADMK party together in Tamil Nadu, and the DMK and Congress is going to win big. The India Alliance is going to big win. I don't want to put out numbers like Mr. Kalyan Raman. He can put out any numbers because anyway, he's not going to achieve that. But anyway, the India Alliance is going to get a comfortable majority on its own.
The India Alliance.
You talk about the 35 seats and all. See, the seat sharing is being talked.
Okay. You mean, India Alliance. You mean the DMK and the Congress? Is that what you're trying to say? Because, TVK is not yet part of that alliance, right?
No, TVK will never be part of the alliance.
Sir. Yeah, Kalyan.
So you asked about the 35 seats, 28 seats, and all those
DMK spokesperson.
DMK will be
I'm sorry to say that. Having said that,
I have not called two DMK spokespersons. They are individual analysts.
24% carat, 24 carat pure alliance. What is this? They put a gun on the head of Karunanidhi.
Basically,
Nabila, believe me, they put a gun on the head of Karunanidhi and took 63 seats. In the first floor, they were having an investigation against Kanimozhi's mother.
So
and in the ground floor, they were talking alliance.
So today,
this is what had happened in Tamil Nadu. They had 63 seats out of 243. This is what had happened. They put the gun. The Congress had put the gun. CBI inquiry was happening in the first floor. In ground floor, alliance talk was happening. It was concluded. The Rajati Ammal was let out in the process. So
you
Gokul must be laughing. Gokul must be laughing deep inside himself while he is blatantly lying. He was a blatant liar.
So
that much I can say.
From Congress, right?
And coming to the question of the other gentleman, Harikaran. Harikaran was to say that the alliance is so intact. And then look at, except Selva Perunthakai, look at all the people. They are all saying that we want power. We want power sharing. Not only the local people of Tamil Nadu, but also Girish Chodankar, who is in charge of Tamil Nadu. He also says that we want power. And we have given them a few number of days. They have not come back. 10 days we said that we have formed a 5-member team.
Yeah.
You can set up your team. We can have a discussion on seat sharing.
Yeah.
45 days gone. Nothing is happening. So Girish Chodankar is crying that the DMK has not come back. They seem to be disinterested. They are saying it. I am not saying it.
So
I don't know whether Gokul and Harikaran
have
seen such clippings as to what was happening.
Harikaran, a quick final word from you.
See, I don't want to exactly counter Mr. But we have to understand here, I'm going only by numbers and what is the on-ground reality of the situation. And we also here, I want to again bring back that the statistics that I talked about earlier. And as seawater, prediction has never gone wrong as far as the Tamil Nadu elections are concerned. And it clearly says that the India Alliance is going to have 39 seats. The NDA is going to have 0. That is their prediction for this upcoming election.
All right. That's it. I'm going to end that here. And I'm going to wait to see what the alliance and seat sharing would be in the days to come. As per both our political analysts, they're very sure that India Alliance and DMK and the Congress will come.
Definitely, the DMK and the Congress
so we will
not going to be.
We will wait and watch. You never know. This time it could be the year of the NDA also. You never know, right? We'll see.
No, never,
we'll wait
never,
and watch. Never. Okay. We'll wait to see.
The alliance is about
pretty
keeping the
confident.
NDA out of
Look
Tamil
at the way
Nadu.
Kanimoyi is running pillar to post to meet Rahul Gandhi. Why should she go and meet Rahul Gandhi if
No, sir, but they are partners, they are allies.
Something is seriously
As the parliamentary...
Which is why we're having this debate that there is something, there are tensions.
She has all the rights to go and meet the Congress.
Gokul. One moment. Gokul.
Mr. Kalyanram, I want to ask, if at all NDA comes to power, will ADMK accommodate BJP in ministry? They will chase you away. They have already told, we will not accommodate BJP in ministry. The many leaders have told. Remember that in mind.
Okay. All right, thank you, everybody.
It is for us to decide. We will decide when the time comes.
No, sir, you can't say it is for us to decide and fire at the other side.
Okay.
You said that it
Thank
has
you
already
very
been
much.
decided.
I really appreciate it. That's all I have time for. Thank you. We will continue tracking that story very closely. We'll have you on the debate on the next round. A quick break. We'll be right back with all our top stories.
खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया
तेरी एक जिद और फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स सब डबल।
रिटायर हो जाऊं क्या? अच्छा, बिजनेस के लिए लोन का आइडिया किसका था? पर बुढ़ापा आ गया हो।
इनकी जिद ने कारोबार भी बढ़ाया और रोजगार भी। टाटा कैपिटल बिजनेस लोन्स के साथ।
ओह नो, बहुत बोर लग रहा है।
Take a date, not bites.
No added sugar, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
Welcome back. Let's start with our top story on the UGC guidelines. Now, in quite a major intervention, the Supreme Court today has stayed the UGC's 2026 regulations on promotion of equity in higher education, saying that there's some serious constitutional violations or concerns that they flagged off, that this new UGC rules could be misused and is capable of actual inequality. The Supreme Court today has ordered that the 2026 UGC regulations will remain in abeyance and that the 2012 UGC regulations will continue until further orders. Calling the new rules as prima facie vague and capable of misuse, the bench has warned they could have dangerous and divisive impact on the society. The bench, led by Chief Justice Surya Kant along with Justice Joymala Bakshi, said the intervention was necessary to prevent long-term harm and misuse. They said, if we don't intervene, it will divide the society and have grave consequences to this new rule, the Chief Justice has observed. During the hearing, the court questioned why the 2026 regulations separately define caste-based discrimination under Regulation 3(1)(c), when broader definition under Regulation 3(1)(e) already covers all forms of discrimination. Now, the bench has noted that this could exclude general category students from raising complaints related to place of birth, gender, or other discrimination. It's also flagged the complete omission of ragging, despite it being among the most common forms of campus harassment. Now, petitioners have argued that regulations assume discrimination flows only in one direction and disadvantage general category students. Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain has asked, when a general definition of discrimination already exists, why create a separate caste-based definition that excludes others? Even as the court put the regulations on hold, DMK President Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has strongly defended the new UGC rules, calling the 2026 regulation a delayed but welcome step. Stalin says higher education in India remains scarred by deep-rooted discrimination and institutional apathy against the, according to him, reserved category groups like the SC, ST, OBCs. He alleges that since the BJP came to power at the centre, there has been a rise in student suicides, particularly among the SC and ST students, claiming that students from southern states Kashmir and minority communities are increasingly being targeted. Maharashtra bids farewell to one of its most influential political figures, Ajit Pawar, who tragically passed away in a plane crash on Wednesday morning. 66-year-old leader, affectionately called as Dada in Maharashtra politics, was laid to rest today in his hometown of Baramati with full state honours. Thousands of supporters and loyalists gathered. Chants of "Long live Ajit Pawar" rang out, a testament to the deep connection that he shared with the people. What really began as a funeral procession at 9 a.m. turned into a massive outpouring of grief, prompting authorities to take his body directly to the cremation site at Vidya Pratishthan ground. Pawar's family, his wife Sunetra Pawar, sons Parth and Jay, were present there, standing united in the face of an unimaginable loss. His uncle Sharad Pawar, whose relationship with Ajit had been strained due to the political ups and downs, was also very much present there. Reminder that despite all political tussles, family stays united. Leaders from across the political spectrum, including, of course, Uddhav Thackeray, Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde, cousin Supriya Sule, and union ministers Amit Shah and Nitin Gadkari were all there, paid their respects. Celebrities were also present there, some of them. Police contingent stood in solemn salute, and the Guard of Honor was accorded, making this a grave loss there. Ajit Pawar's untimely death, along with the 4 others on board the chartered Learjet 45, has left Maharashtra in complete state of mourning. 3 days of holiday to mourn his death has been announced. A devastating fire at a warehouse complex in Anandapur's Nazirabad in Kolkata has become one of the city's deadliest industrial tragedies in recent times. We hear 19 workers have been killed, with the death toll only likely to rise. DNA tests are currently being done. Nearly 23 people are said to be still missing. Families are left anxious. The blaze, we hear, broke out in a godown there. 2-3 godowns and warehouses that were just in a row, and one of them was the Wow Momo warehouse. Fire broke out at around 3 a.m. on Republic Day, when all workers were sleeping inside, and they just got consumed in fire and died. Here, 12 fire engines, we hear, were pressed into action, and so far there are still so many people missing, so the death toll could only increase. Wow Momo clarifies that the fire did not happen in their warehouse, though initial reports suggested it happened indeed in their warehouse. There were grave violations, inflammable material that was kept inside, and no fire safety. But Wow Momo, in its official response, says it's not true. Police have arrested the warehouse owner for causing death due to negligence. Investigation into safety lapses are underway. The tragedy has really triggered a political storm. Leader of opposition in West Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari, has accused Mamata Banerjee of gross negligence, alleges that the incident was entirely preventable, criticizing the Chief Minister for not visiting the site, and said that the Fire Minister arrived 32 hours late. The row intensified after the government imposed Section 163 of the BNS, banning gatherings near the site until March 30th, 2026. Suvendu Adhikari calls this order as draconian, alleging that it was meant to block accountability. Kolkata High Court has allowed Adhikari now to carry out a rally tomorrow in the issue, supported by 2,000 people. TMC government says that restrictions are needed to maintain law and order. Now, the Indian Railways is ending a 20-year-old tradition of giving silver coins to retired employees. And this time, it's not just about tradition, it's about trust. For 2 decades, retiring railway officers were presented with gold-plated silver medals or coins weighing about 20 grams as a mark of appreciation for their service. Thousands of employees received these coins, a small symbolic gesture of recognition. But the tradition has now been halted abruptly after, shockingly, these employees found out that those coins that were given to them were fake. This was a scam that was on. Investigations found that the coins given to these retirees were largely fake, containing only 0.23% silver. The Railway Board has taken strict action, and FIR has been filed against the supplier. and the company has now been blacklisted. Even officers retiring today, January 31st, will not receive these coins. Existing stock will now be used for other purposes, but the Railway Board says that this move is aimed at ensuring transparency. But oh my God, how did the Railway not know that they were giving fake silver coins to their employees? What an embarrassment. After 2 decades, a gesture that is meant to honor these retired employees has now been tainted by fraud. Well, it's just so embarrassing to know that a government body, the railways, giving silver coins to their retired employees turns out to be fake, and they blacklisted the company. But who in the railways will take accountability for this? That's it for me here. Thanks very much for tuning in.
खेलता है झूलता उछलता है दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
एक और फैमिली ने रखा कदम अपने नए घर में टाटा कैपिटल होम लोन्स के साथ।
ओह नो, बहुत बोर लग रहा है।
Take a date, not bites.
नो एडेड शुगर, प्रिजर्वेटिव के बिना डेट्स, बादाम, पिस्ता, काजू और शहद से तैयार किया गया लायन डेट्स नट बाइट्स।
Lion date, not bites.
Taxes, jobs, housing, electric vehicles, defense. NEWS9 decodes the numbers behind the noise. You define India's growth story. We decode what's in it for you. Budget 2026. No noise, no confusion. A budget for a bulletproof Bharat.
Red Fort explosion. Let's get you all the updates. Following the blast, there is of course a South Indian connection of Dr. Shaheen Shahid. Because this is news of national import that search operations are underway across the entire Al Falah University campus. The blast killed 12 people. Prices, however, of Nandini ghee have been hiked. KMF has defended Nandini is the brand. I've been getting a lot of queries on my phone. What's for the people of Karnataka? Okay, you can play tennis as much as you want to, but I'm the umpire and I will say please. There is an eyeball to eyeball confrontation. Where is this going? What is the way out? The farmers, they can actually shake a nation. Both of you down because I can also shout Prashantji.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching NEWS9, English news as it should be.
PM Modi Lodge Economic Survey calls it a comprehensive study of India's Reform Express, reflecting steady progress in a challenging global environment. President Murmu and PM Modi graced the beating retreat ceremony at Vijay Chowk, which culminated the 77th Republic Day celebrations. Band showcase formations reflecting Operation Sindoor. Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau initiates investigation into the plane crash that killed Ajit Pawar. The final investigation report to be forwarded to the state government after Devendra Fadnavis's request to the centre. As the battle for Tamil Nadu heats up, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin claims the state is the safest for Muslims, claims DMK shields minorities in Tamil Nadu. Big setback for O. Paneerselvam as AIA-DMK chief says there is no chance of including OPS in the party. Congress MP Shashi Tharoor says his meeting with Rahul Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge was constructive and cordial, adds that discussing party issues in the spirit of camaraderie is important. Hello and thank you for tuning into News 9. I'm Deepak Suresh Kumar, and first up, viewers, in the wake of Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar's untimely demise, intense political deliberations have begun over his succession. With the sudden leadership vacuum, the focus has now shifted to who will carry forward his political legacy. Sources indicate that behind the scenes, political activity is already underway within the party, and amid these discussions, demands are growing to elevate Ajit Pawar's wife Sunetra Pawar to a key leadership role. Now, Sunetra Pawar, currently a Rajya Sabha member, is being projected as a potential Deputy Chief Minister. And according to sources, there are also calls to appoint her as the interim party chief and field her as the candidate for Baramati Assembly by-election. Baramati, considered Ajit Pawar's stronghold, is now at the center of succession politics, and now several tall leaders in the Maharashtra political circles have already backed Sunetra Pawar to take over the reins of Ajit Pawar after he was killed in a plane crash in Baramati. Whether or not Sunetra Pawar will be made the Deputy Chief Minister to fill in Ajit Pawar's boots, and whether or not she will be made to contest Baramati by-election, these are two aspects which will be decided in the near future. But right now, speculations are rife that Ajit Pawar's wife, Sunetra Pawar, might be a possible successor. Viewers, ALPA, or All India Pilots Association, has expressed deep grief over the tragic Learjet crash in Baramati that claimed the life of Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar. Captain Sumit Kapoor, First Officer Shambhavi Pathak, cabin crew member Ms. Pimki Mali, and security staff Ms. Vidhi Jadhav also lost their lives in the accident. ALPA India called the incident an irreparable loss for the families and the nation. The association said it is in touch with the bereaved families and is offering full support during this difficult time. It also praised the pilots for maintaining the highest professional standards until their final moments. Condolences have also been extended to the family of Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar as well as to the nation, which shares in this profound loss. ALPA India urged everyone to refrain from speculation or spreading rumors and said it is awaiting the official investigation by DGCA and Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, which has already taken the black box into its possession, and now it will be deciphering the details of what exactly transpired in those last few moments before the plane crashed on the side of runway 11. Viewers, Union Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu has replied to Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis on the plane crash, stating that the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau has launched a formal investigation, and the minister said the black box has been secured and the probe is currently being conducted under aircraft accident and incident rules in a transparent and a time-bound manner. All technical records, operational details and evidence from the accident site are being examined. He also added that the ministry has taken note of the state government's request to prevent such incidents in the future and said appropriate measures will be implemented once the investigation report is submitted. The union minister also sought full cooperation from the Maharashtra government and also the local administration for the inquiry, adding that the final report will be shared with the state government. And this comes as Devendra Fadnavis wrote a letter to the Union Ministry of Civil Aviation seeking a detailed investigation into the recent plane crash. In his letter to the Civil Aviation Minister Ram Mohan Naidu, Devendra Fadnavis urged the centre to investigate the circumstances leading to the accident and to ensure accountability. He also emphasized the need to put in place strong preventive measures so that such incidents do not recur in the future. The state government, according to sources, has assured full cooperation with central agencies as the investigation moves forward. And one of the primary demands that Devendra Fadnavis has placed before the centre is to give them access to the final investigation report that will be submitted by the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau to the DGCA.
We have also replied to that. Okay, we have, regarding the investigation, the government of Maharashtra has written a letter, and like I said, we have also written to them that we have started the investigation. The investigation has started, and the teams from the The investigation has started, like we have already released a press statement where the teams from AIB and DGCA have already arrived at the site yesterday. The black box has also been recovered and the investigation is in process. This time we'll be stressing upon having a very timeline approach so that we get the report done in an expeditious way.
Viewers, hours after the economic survey was tabled in the Parliament, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has welcomed the economic survey presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Parliament, saying it reflects the strength and resilience of the Indian economy even amid global uncertainty. The Prime Minister said the survey paints a picture of strong macroeconomic fundamentals and sustained growth momentum. And taking to social media platform X, Prime Minister Modi said the economic survey presents a comprehensive picture of India's reform express, showcasing steady progress in a challenging global environment. He also noted that the survey highlights robust economic fundamentals, consistent growth, and the expanding role of innovation, entrepreneurship, and infrastructure in the process of nation building. The Prime Minister further underlined the fact that innovation and entrepreneurship are emerging as key drivers of India's economic story. The economic survey for 2025 and 26 reiterates the government's focus on the Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas model of inclusive development with special emphasis on farmers, micro, small and medium enterprises, job creation for the youth and social welfare measures. The survey has projected India's GDP growth to remain between 6.8 and 7.2% in the financial year beginning April, keeping India on track as the world's fastest growing major economy despite global trade tensions and volatility. According to estimates by the National Statistics Office, the Indian economy is expected to grow by 7.4% in the current financial year, and this marks the fourth consecutive year that India has topped the growth charts among major economies worldwide. And this upward revision signals growing confidence in the country's long-term economic prospects. In fact, Chief Economic Advisor V. Anantha Nageswaran said India's potential growth could rise further to 7.5% in the coming years, provided policy efforts focus on strengthening the manufacturing sector, boosting exports, and accelerating structural and process reforms. Overall, viewers, the economic survey projects confidence in India's growth story, highlighting strong fundamentals, inclusive development, and reform-led expansion. The focus now shifts to execution as the government moves to translate projections into action, because the budget session is over the horizon. Now, viewers, with the budget for financial year 26 and 27 set to be presented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on February 1st, all eyes are on the big policy decisions ahead. NEWS9 is launching a special budget 2026 poll, and your voice matters the most. Scan the QR code on your screens right now. Take part and vote on the key questions that will shape India's economic future, because your voice matters, and winners with the most correct predictions will win Amazon vouchers and have the opportunity to be featured on NEWS9 television. Today we ask, do you expect Budget 2026 to cut long-term and short-term capital gains taxes or lower the securities transaction tax? Scan the QR code on your screens and vote yes or no, and you could be lucky to win an Amazon gift voucher, and further could also be featured on your own channel NEWS9. Viewers, moving on to some breaking news coming in. The Calcutta High Court has directed the West Bengal government to hand over already acquired land in 9 border districts to BSF. This is a big breaking news, and the High Court has also set a deadline, that is March 31st, for putting up barbed wire fencing along the Indo-Bangladesh border. The court also noted that West Bengal accounts for more than half of India's total border with Bangladesh, and despite multiple cabinet decisions since 2016, large stretches of international boundary remain unfenced, holding that national security obligations cannot be delayed due to administrative or electoral considerations. High Court said that land which has already been acquired and funded by the centre must be transferred without delay. The bench made it amply clear that reasons like the ongoing SIR of electoral rolls and preparations for polls should not be accepted as justification for non-compliance. The Union Government's Council submitted that while land acquisition falls under the state's jurisdiction, once compensation is paid and approvals are granted, the state is constitutionally obligated to hand over possession of the land to the BSF, and the matter has now been posted for further hearing on April 2nd.
राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा को सुनिश्चित करने के लिए एक बहुत उचित, उपयुक्त और सराहनीय निर्देश है। वहीं पश्चिम बंगाल की तृणमूल कांग्रेस सरकार को बेनकाब करने वाला एक बहुत साफ स्पष्ट संकेत है और इससे यह भी साबित हो जाता है कि इंडी गठबंधन और उसके तमाम दल, जिसमें तृणमूल कांग्रेस भी शामिल है, ये निरंतर होती हुई पराजय के कारण और पश्चिम बंगाल की तृणमूल सरकार अपनी अवश्यंभावी पराजय के कारण कुंठाग्रस्त है, वोट की लालच में घुसपैठिया परस्त है और उनके शासन में राष्ट्र की सुरक्षा संकटग्रस्त है। इसलिए इस संकट से बचाने के लिए निश्चित रूप से बंगाल की जनता, हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है, निर्णायक, प्रभावी और प्रचंड जनादेश भारतीय जनता पार्टी को देगी ताकि आगे से ऐसी शक्तियां बंगाल में प्रभावी न हो पाए।
The Supreme Court has every right to do that. Once the Supreme Court takes a view on this, everybody has to follow that. Let's wait and see.
Viewers, it's time for a quick break, but on the other side, we'll tell you how the battle for Tamil Nadu is heating up with each passing day. Stay tuned.
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching NEWS9, English news as it should be.
रश्मि, हाँ? ये मैडम बड़े शहर से छोटे शहर बसने जा रही है, बताओ।
अंकल इंडिया के छोटे छोटे शहरों में ही तो है बड़े बड़े अखाड़े।
नए नए दावपेच सीखेगी और फ्यूचर में मेडल जीतेगी। और बेटा, इनका फ्यूचर?
बड़े पापा, SBI लाइफ से इनका फ्यूचर सिक्योर है।
तभी तो इसकी जीत का इरादा पक्का है। करो पूरे अपने इरादे,
अपनों से किए सभी वादे।
SBI लाइफ अपने लिए,
अपनों के लिए।
पढ़ता है, खेलता है, झूलता उछलता है, दौड़ता कभी कभी दौड़ कराता है, आगे आगे बढ़ता है इंडिया, अमूल दूध पीता है इंडिया।
तेरी एक जिद और फैक्ट्री वर्कर्स सब डबल।
रिटायर हो जाऊं क्या? अच्छा, बिजनेस के लिए लोन का आइडिया किसका था? पर बुढ़ापा आ गया हो।
इनकी जिद ने कारोबार भी बढ़ाया और रोजगार भी। टाटा कैपिटल बिजनेस लोन्स के साथ।
This is India's #1 news network, and you're watching NEWS9, English news as it should be.
Viewers, as the assembly polls draw closer in Tamil Nadu, Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has stepped up his outreach to minority communities, addressing members of the Muslim community. Stalin said that Tamil Nadu remains the safest state for Muslims, claiming the DMK acts as a strong shield to protect them. The Chief Minister launched a sharp attack on the centre, accusing it of misusing central agencies such as CBI, ED and even Income Tax Department to intimidate political opponents and the public too. Stalin said the prevailing situation in the country speaks for itself, hitting directly at the growing pressure from the centre. This marks yet another occasion when DMK attempts to consolidate minority vote bank by projecting itself as their primary defender against central interference and communal threats ahead of the assembly elections.
இஸ்லாமிய மக்களான நீங்க எப்படிப்பட்ட அச்சுறுத்தலை எதிர்கொள்றீங்கன்னு உலகத்துக்கே தெரியும். இப்படிப்பட்ட நிலையில நான் உறுதியோடு சொல்றேன், இஸ்லாமியர்களுக்கு பாதுகாப்பான மாநிலமாக இன்றைக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரே மாநிலம் தமிழ்நாடு தான். அதுக்கு காரணம் திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகம். திமுக தான் சிறுபான்மையின மக்களை காக்கக்கூடிய காவல் அரண். இந்த அமைதி சூழல் சிலருடைய கண்களை உறுதி.
Moving on, viewers, a mysterious case has emerged from Jodhpur that raises serious questions about social media harassment, mental pressure and even the circumstances surrounding the death of a young Sadhvi. Because Sadhvi Prem Bais are known for her active social media presence and her association with the propagation of Sanatana Dharma, was brought dead to a private hospital in Jodhpur on Wednesday evening. And what has intensified suspicion is an alleged suicide note that appeared on her Instagram account nearly 4 hours after her death. In the post, the Sadhvi spoke about dedicating her life to Sanatana Dharma and expressed hope that she would receive justice, if not in life, then after death. The timing of the post has raised red flags, with police now examining whether the message was pre-scheduled or posted by somebody else. Sadhvi Prem Baisa had earlier alleged that a doctored video linked to her family was circulated online. She had even filed a police complaint alleging blackmail, leading to the arrest of the accused. And according to the doctors, the Sadhvi was brought to the hospital by her father and another aide and was declared brought dead. The doctor said her father claimed she had a fever and was administered an injection by a compounder at the ashram, after which she lost her consciousness. Reports also suggest that the doctor advised shifting the body to a government hospital for a post-mortem, but the father initially refused.
इस दुख की घड़ी में जो यहाँ खड़े हैं सब साधु जी को न्याय दिलाने के लिए